Your Honor, permission to approach the jury?
Permission granted.
Imagine being in an emergency room. You are staring at your son, but he is not staring back. Your son is unconscious, and he is laying on a bed. You are staring at him, but you are praying in your head, and you are just waiting and waiting for him to wake up. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and may it please the court. I am Juan, and I am part of White & Case law firm. I will be representing the plaintiff today, Peyton Reynolds. Firstly, let me thank the jury for taking time out of your very busy lives today to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today for two reasons. We are here because the plaintiff alleges that the defense was negligent, and because the defense believes that they are entitled to something called safe harbor. We allege that Dalton Fisher and the Smithville School District was negligent. To prove negligence, we must prove that there was a duty, that the defense breached that duty, that the breach of that duty was the proximate cause of the injury, and that the injury caused damages. Those four things: duty, breach, proximate cause, and damages. If we are able to prove those four things, then we would be able to say that the defense was indeed negligent. These are all things that our witnesses will prove to you today, and these are things that the judge will also later explain to you. The judge will also explain something else. The judge will explain something called safe harbor. This is something that the defense will tell you that they are entitled to. The safe harbor inference would say that the defense was not negligent. They don't deserve it, because as the judge will explain to you, they must prove various elements of safe harbor. And if they miss any of these elements, they are not entitled to the safe harbor inference. As you will see, one of their own witnesses will show you that they are not entitled to the safe harbor inference. The safe harbor inference because they did not follow the student-to-teacher ratio policy in this case. And this is a required element to get safe harbor. Thus, they will not be able to get this inference. As the judge will additionally explain to you, I have the burden of proof, and it is called preponderance of the evidence. This means that I just have to prove that the defense was only 51% or more responsible for the defense to be negligent. The incident in question happened when Peyton Reynolds, the plaintiff, sent his son Pat on a school-provided field trip. He sent him on this because it was Pat's 18th birthday. On this trip, Pat and his roommate left the hotel, and Pat fell off a wall. Pat sustained very severe head injuries and is now currently in a coma. Dalton Fisher, the chaperone, was nowhere to be found, and he was back at the hotel. Now Peyton's son, Pat, might not recover. Pat Reynolds might die. Now Peyton's son, Pat, might not recover. Peyton must also pay many hospital bills, along with many rehab bills and rehabilitation if Pat is somehow to survive and has to rehabilitate himself. How did Pat get injured? He left the hotel during the night and later fell off a wall. You will soon hear from one of our witnesses, Avery Harris, Pat's roommate, and he will explain to you why both he and Pat had to leave the hotel. He will explain to you why he and Pat had no other choice but to leave the hotel. Another one of our witnesses, Peyton Reynolds, will tell you how great of a kid Pat is, and he will also mention how extremely irresponsible chaperone Dalton Fisher is. He will also mention how the school district did a poor job in enforcing their school student-to-teacher ratio policy. Finally, our last witness is Bailey Thompson. She is a Chief Administrative Officer for School Systems and the founder and owner of Bailey Thompson Education Services. She will tell you her expert opinion and how she thinks that Dalton Fisher was negligent. She will also tell you how she believes that the defense is not entitled to safe harbor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is a very simple case that has been laid before you today. On one side, we have a heartbroken father who might lose his only son. On the other side, we have a negligent teacher and an irresponsible school district that let this happen to Pat. Later at this case, at the end, I will come back up here and I will ask you to deliver a reasonable verdict for the plaintiff. I will ask you to award money damages. Thank you.